A lot of people ask us about electricity on our boat, and I want to deep dive into what we've done, how we've done it, and why we have done it. So our boat is extremely power hungry. So for instance, everything pretty much on our boat requires electricity. For simple things like a chart plotter, and it's not simple, it's brilliant, but being able to look where you're going, being able to see how deep you are, being able to use the winches to raise your mast with ease, all of that is using the electricity. Autopilot, refrigeration, we use electricity for cooking, even pumping water, bilge pumps, everything is using electricity. So when we moved on the boat, we had very mediocre electricity on the boat. So we've done a lot of upgrades. So first of all, the electricity is saved in batteries. So it was very important for us to have a large bank of batteries. And we've upgraded from gel batteries, which uses particular chemistry, and you can only use about 40% of the capacity of the batteries, to lithium batteries, lithium iron phosphate, which are very safe for the boats. They don't catch on fire. They're very, very safe. And you can use up to 80 to 90% of the electricity. So we went from 600 amps of gel batteries, which would be usable about 250 amp hours, to 1320 amps of lithium, which we can easily use over 1100 amps if we need to of the electricity, which was a very large upgrade. Number two, the boat came with 2 solar panels that were installed right under the boom. In other words, they're pretty much useless unless you move the boom to the side. So what we've done the first year of the being on the boat, we've installed 4 more solar panels on the back. They're much larger than the panels upstairs. So the 2 panels upstairs were 300 watts each, and we've installed 4 panels with 330 watts each. That gave us almost 2,000 watt hours. Later, when we started sailing in Caribbean, between the islands that were leeward or windward islands, we were pretty much always going either north or south, and the sun was always on the solar panels, which were really cool. But then we started going west, and I realized we have a problem because we have only a sun on the solar panels for about half of the day, and once the sun moves in front of us, because now we're chasing the sun, we start running out of electricity quite quickly. So what we did, we installed 4 more solar panels in front of our boat. That way we can have sun give us electricity even if we're going west, which was awesome. And we purchased the solar panels that we can walk on, because a lot of solar panel manufacturers, even the flexible ones, they void warranty if you walk on them. So instead we installed solar panels that we actually can walk on, and that gave us another 1100 watts of solar, bringing the total solar power to 3000 watts. We like solar panels because after the initial investment, it's pretty much a free electricity and damage to the environment is minimal. We also have a generator, because if you have more need for electricity, for example, if you're running air conditioners, if you're running an air compressor for your scuba diving equipment, or if it's cloudy for a few days and you need really to top up your batteries, we do use a generator that allows us to fill up our batteries. And the last but not least is our engines, our motors, have alternators on them. In other words, if we're motoring, we also have a way to charge our batteries. So when you're running your day-to-day, in our case, if we're running the autopilot and the refrigerations, etc., and sail somewhere, we need 40 amps per hour. That's almost 500 amps if we don't turn on lights, if we don't do anything else, which is a lot of electricity. So that's why we needed to upgrade our batteries to a much better system. I'm very happy with the setup on our boat. We also could get a cappuccino machine, which is awesome. And overall, the boat is highly, highly effective by using electricity.